the term entrepreneurship
أعوذ بالله من
started actually.
الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear friends, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this IIIT Far East Monthly Community Development Webinar organized by the Hong Kong office of International Institute of Islamic Thought. Today's topic is entrepreneurship for community economic development. And we are very honored that we have invited the speaker, Dr. Mohammed Shamsul Karim, an associate professor in the field. And today's moderator is Ustadh Mamoon Al-azami, who is himself an international trainer from UK. So without ado, may Ustadh Mamoon try to introduce the speaker, and then we start the session. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. It's my great pleasure to introduce both the topic and a specialist in that topic, so that we are going to learn about economic development in the community, because without economic development, without self-reliance, without having a dignified income, we will have very difficult life. And we need not just job, but create job. Entrepreneurship creates job. And therefore we have an expert who is an accomplished researcher in this field. He has been teaching in the university for quite some time, and he is also, to our great pleasure, a man who is rooted in Islamic principles, Quran and Sunnah. So let us have the learning opportunity today. And what we learn, if you practice it, report back next month, then inshallah a certificate will be issued, signed by Brother Yusuf and myself. Those who practice, that's what we want, and therefore certificate is related to the practice, not just attending. So attendance does not produce economic development or whatever the topic is. So may I ask therefore our brother and expert, Dr. Shamsul Karim, to introduce, to take it forward. And I have actually, because from January, a commitment, all-day commitment in a Shura meeting of a major organization where I'm a member of the Shura. So I have to run towards it. Brother Yusuf, you will continue with you, and I will take leave to run to that meeting in London, central, near central London, inshallah. Please go ahead, Dr. Shamsul Karim. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum again, Professor Brother Mamoon Al-azami and Yusuf. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to deliver a presentation on entrepreneurship for community economic development. It is an essential component, because without entrepreneur, nothing will happen in the economy. So it is a key change agent in the economy. So let us see what Islam says about why Islam give importance on entrepreneurship. So Allah says in Quran, Surah Al-Jumu'ah, verse 10, when the prayer is ended, then disperse in the land and seek Allah's favor. That means we need to give effort. So Islam don't ask us just to do the only ibadah. We need to use our effort to manage the livelihood and to change our life and change our people's life as well. And also another surah, he said, he it is who has made the earth subservient to you. So walk in the path and eat whatever provision Allah gave you, and to Him will be the resurrections. So that means it's not in the this world. We are just not only the our duty is not only the ibadah. We need to do something that is also part of ibadah. That is managing our livelihood, seeking Allah's favor in managing our life. Prophet Sallallahu said he has been those who are the trustworthy merchant, they will be associated to the Prophet. So a man works with his hands and every business transactions. So that is actually best thing in the managing earnings. So business is the one of the prophetic profession. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he engaged in business. He was a trader. So that it is a prophetic, profession. This is why Allah in Quran says that Allah make business halal and prohibit riba. So that means in Islam, the root of entrepreneurship is mentioned in Quran, in Hadith, and it is one of the prime profession, highly focused, because all economic activity, surrounded the business. Without business, nothing will happen. No economic activity will be there. So that is why it is most important. And we go to the next slide. So there is a special place for the social entrepreneur. I will come back later on. What is social entrepreneur? There are different types of entrepreneurs. So you will not attain righteousness till you spend in charity of things you love. That means Islam encourages charity. Charity is the kind of social entrepreneurship. And Prophet Sallallahu said, do not turn away poor man. Even all you can give is half a date. If you love the poor and bring them near you, God will bring you near Him on the day of resurrections. That means without supporting poor people, if you'd like to be near to the God, we need to support the poor people. And this is actually this supporting poor people in an organized way. That is the social entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is the heart of Islamic activities. That is the main thing. Now, question is, who is entrepreneur? So after attending this today's lecture, you will have a task. I'll give you a task. The task will be, you need to identify an opportunity, a business opportunity, which is accessible, which you can apply. So by the next 1 month, you need to identify an opportunity and you need to tell us what opportunity you identified to get the certificate of this one. That is your responsibility. So throughout today's lecture, you will follow how opportunity can be unfolded and what is an opportunity is. So first come to the person who is an entrepreneur, a person who recognizes an opportunity and organizes and manages a business, assuming the risk for the sake of potential return. So one of the main key issues of the entrepreneur is that we can recognize opportunity, recognize and organize opportunity to manage a business. So that is the key issue of the entrepreneur. Second thing, if you go, so if you'd like to be an entrepreneur, you must recognize an opportunity. That is the core of entrepreneurship. If you can't recognize opportunity, you will not be an entrepreneur. Hiswich in 1990 said that someone who demonstrates initiatives and creative thinking. So initiative, that you need to initiate and you need to think creatively, is able to organize social and economic mechanism to turn resources and situations to practical account and accept risk and failure. So might have risk, there might have failure when you start a business, but you need to think creatively and you need to take initiative. And it could be for social and economic purpose. The main present entrepreneurial guru, Schumpeter, who is from France, in 1934, he said, entrepreneur as an innovator creates profit opportunity by devising a new product, a production process, or a marketing strategy. Schumpeter said one of important quote he mentioned, entrepreneurs are the people who are creative destruction. It means they create something to destroy other things. So that means entrepreneurs always create new things. So, do you like to be an entrepreneur? This is the question. And as I said, throughout this journey, you'll understand. As I said, to the entrepreneur is a entrepreneur profession. It is a profession of prophetic profession, wherein you can do something for the society. So by becoming an entrepreneur, you not only help yourself, you help the society. So to be an entrepreneur, one of the key issues is the attitudes. Most of us, when we think we are thinking to something, but the problem is we feel whether I can get success, whether I can do it or not. That is the main problem in our life. So to overcome this, the main thing is attitudes. If you have an attitude that I can't do it, it is not my cup of tea. That means you are done. You can't go ahead. It's like a flat tire. With a flat tire, you can't drive. So you must have positiveness. To be entrepreneur, you need to be positiveness. I can give you an example of what is the attitude of positive attitude. I worked in university, started my professional academic life in Bangladesh in 1998. So it is a newly established private university, International Islamic University, Chittagong. So when they started the university, I just met the university trust secretary. I talked to him why you have started the university and how much money you had. He said that we'd like to establish an Islamic university, but we don't have any money. But money is not the issue. We'll do it. So they started the journey without any money, without any resources. They begging people for money. The first time they started begging people in money in the Mecca. Then they come back home, Bangladesh, and they collected money from people. They rented a house and started the university classroom like a coaching center. And they're successful. Now it is a big university, 100 billion, I mean, they have total resource more than 100 billion US dollar. So it started from zero, just in a 27 years. With positive attitudes. People was laughing when they started. People was laughing when they could do it or not. But the success, they could do it successfully. So one of the important things, I can do it. Can-do attitude is the core of entrepreneurship. You'll find that those are the entrepreneurs, they're highly positive people. Highly positive people. So look at the when you look at if you look see those successful entrepreneurs in the world. For example, Apple, Google, Amazon, Harley, Disney, Mattel, all big companies. Everyone started from a very small garage. Apple started from a garage. Google started from a garage. Amazon started from a garage. See, this is the same story. And most of them are the dropout from the university. The reason is they have started with a very big dream. They left their university education with a big, when they see there is opportunity, they just die for it. And you need to, when your dream need to drive you. You must have a dream. I'll change the society. I'll bring this. I'll do this. You should be mad of this dream. Then you can do it. So dream is the key driving force to be an entrepreneur. So another key issue is the entrepreneurial qualification is while other people see the problem, entrepreneurs see the opportunity. Other people see the problem, entrepreneurs see the opportunity. So for example, if you look at what actually Trump is doing, everyone is sad with the Gaza. Everyone is sad with the Ukraine war. But Trump is an entrepreneur. What he did, he actually, in the Ukraine war, he did the rare earth mineral contract with the Ukraine because he saw the opportunity there. So while there is a people see the problem, entrepreneurs see the opportunity. There's a negative side, but there's a positive side as well. For example, there is a earthquake, there is a, I mean, calamity, climate issue. Entrepreneurs see the opportunity there. So, for example, another example would be, for example, suddenly the birth rate in a country going up. Entrepreneur will see the opportunity, or birth rate going down. Entrepreneurs see the opportunity. Elderly people increasing. Entrepreneurs will see the opportunity. So, opportunity recognition depends on the problems. If there is a social problem, you'll see the opportunity. So, if you are to identify a problem, look at the your society that you are where you are living. If you can find a problem, if you can recognize a problem, means there is an opportunity. So people see the news in the news television, but entrepreneurs see the opportunity. So this is the difference: a general person and entrepreneur. Everyone watch news or they read newspaper, but they don't see the opportunity. They see the problems on news. But entrepreneurs see the opportunity. So to be an entrepreneur, what you need to be? You need to be an entrepreneur. You need to always think outside the box. The way a general person see, you can't think in that same line. You need to think when you see the problem, how to solve it, what I can do to solve it. So I can solve these problems. I can give you an example of a Colombian university student. So once he was in the classroom, it was a math classroom. Teacher was teaching in the classroom and he discussed to, I mean, suddenly the boy was sleeping when the class is going on. When the class was finished, everyone left. The boy wake up and he saw the two problems written down on the blackboard. So he thought that these are the homework. The whole week he passed in his university library to solve the problem, and he could solve one problem. Next week when he returned to the class, he asked teacher was not asking about the homework. Then he asked the teacher, why you are not asking homework? You gave two homework last week. Then teacher laughed at him and he said, no, I didn't. These are not the homework. These are actually math problems people couldn't solve. And you still don't know the solution. So then he said, I already solved one problem. Then he submitted the solution to the teacher. So this problem actually, then from that day, the university recognized it, and the 4-page solutions, they keep it forever in the university. So what I'm saying you, if you have the agility to solve a problem, you can solve the problem, and you need to think outside the box. If the boy knew that it is a problem, unsolvable problem, he couldn't solve it. So entrepreneurs always think outside the box and they solve the problems. So to recognize the opportunity, what you need to do, you need to train your brain. You need to train your brain. You need to see what frustrates you the most when you try to buy something, or when you are in the society, what community problem frustrates you, and what you feel would be better when you are in the community. So you need to look at the issues, and that actually help you to understand and to solve the problem. So first thing is what frustrates you, what problems you feel that there should be a solution of the problem. That actually is the core of the opportunity identification. That is, whenever you see something, you need to train your brain that there should have some solutions of this. So instead of seeing about the problems, you'll see think about the solutions. You need to train your brain in that line. That what makes me annoyed or angry. So you also need to think about what makes you angry, and also what product or service would take away my aggravation. Now, what kind of product or service you could provide to solve the problems. So these are the three core issues. When you see a problem, these things to come in your mind. To observe, to identify opportunity, you need to be a good listener. You need to observe the society, and you need to analyze the problems. Once Peter F. Drucker, he said that always search for change, respond to it, and exploit it as an opportunity. Peter Abdaka, he's a management guru, an entrepreneurial guru based in the USA. So that means you need to always search for the change and respond to it. You need to look for what are the changes coming in, what are the opportunities arriving from there, and you need to exploit the opportunity from there. So to be an opportunity, there is a difference between idea and opportunity. Majority businesses fail because they feel idea means opportunity. Business idea and business opportunity both are different. To be an opportunity, idea must be attractive to the customers. It must work in the business environment. It should open the opportunity, means it should have the capacity to execute and you can implement it. So these are the 4 conditions you need to think whether it is an idea or opportunity. There are lots of business ideas. For example, it should also be time befitting. So, for example, a shuttle to the moon, once it was an idea, but nowadays it is an opportunity. Because the space shuttle, you can see the Elon Musk, he introduced a space shuttle, and it is actually a high stake business. We didn't think it could be a business opportunity, but nowadays it is a business opportunity. So they should have a customer group who would like it. Then it will work in a business environment, means people will be ready to pay for this. And there are some opportunities to grow, and it is implementable. How to start a business? Business can be traditional type, it can be lean startup. What is traditional business? Traditional business is, if you start a business, then what do? You prepare a business plan, you go for, finances, then you start the business. If you ask people to start a business, they say, I don't have money. So majority of people will say you, I don't have money to start a business. Traditionally. And another thing is, almost 75% business for those who starts fails first time. In some country, it is 90%. So business starting a business is a daunting task. This is true. Traditional startup, you develop a business idea, you develop a business plan, then you start the business. But lean startup is opposite. Lean startup means you try and then you start a business. So this is opposite. Let us see how it works. So lean startup, for example, a startup is a human institution designed to deliver a new product or service under condition of extreme uncertainty. When you don't know your market, when you don't know your product clearly, and you don't know your market, customers, then you use the lean startup. But if you definitely know, this is my market, this is my customers, and they will buy it. If you definitely know it, you can follow the traditional entrepreneurship. In the traditional entrepreneurship, there is, you have the idea. For example, you would like to open a store. You know that the customers will come, you can sell the product. But for example, tech product. So when, for example, it is at the moment, Facebook is a $1 trillion business, Facebook. But when they start the Facebook, they didn't think, or Google. People didn't trust Google on the startup, or Dropbox. So, for example, Dropbox is a file sharing business, or Apple as well. So all these businesses started as a lean startup, means they try to solve some problem, and when they find that people like it, then they start it. So what is the process of doing lean startup? Means you try to develop a product, and you develop a prototype of the product. You give the prototype to your friends, and if they like it, then you can start the business. So for example, everyone knows about the Angry Bird. Angry Bird is a cartoon picture. Angry Bird is a game. So young people like it. So how does Angry Bird start? Angry Bird started, the person who is he's a gamer. He designed the game, but he couldn't actually he owns some money in the game competition. So he thought that I will start my own business. So in Angry Bird, he tried to develop a game and develop 17 games, but all are flop. He lost most of his resources. So then he did in the final stage, in the final effort, he and his team members they tried to give it final try, and then they develop Angry Bird. So then what? After finalizing the prototype, then the creator he gave it to his mom, elderly mom. I developed this Angry Bird game. So his mom played actually quite long time. Then and she's interested in the game. Then this the Angry Bird creator thought that okay, this my elderly mom likes it, children definitely like it. So that actually make that how Angry Bird started. Now it is a big brand name in the gaming business, and it is a $1 million business. So you can see this is the lean startup. You try something, when customer like it, then you go for commercialization. Otherwise, you will not. But in the traditional, you will develop business plan, and you then that means without developing prototype, you develop business idea, develop business plan, then you start the business. So we prefer lean startup at the same as I said to you that according to the decade-old formula that is traditional business, you write a business plan, pitch the investors, assemble a team, and commercialize product. But the problem is, if you don't know the market, it will fail, and that's why 75% business fails because they don't know the market. But if you clearly know the market, you can go for the traditional entrepreneurship, like developing business plan and that. But if you don't know the market, then lean startup is for you. So for the lean startup, what you will do, you will go for the build, that we develop the prototype, then see whether people likes it or not, measure. And if they don't like it, then you learn it and you redevelop the product. You will continue the process until you find the customers like the product. When the customer like the product, then you introduce the product in the market. Now, let us to discuss about the community entrepreneurship development. So if you look at this, the entrepreneurial idea is enhanced and its success or failure change perceptions about the efficacy of the region's ability to innovate. So this starts entrepreneurial ideas. It starts from you have the idea and you observe something, you develop the idea. Then you develop actually new parameters, community capital. So when you develop on community entrepreneurs, you observe some problems in the community in your region, then you develop the idea. So develop the idea and you see what are the community capitals. One of the community capital is the community trust. So you need to look at the social trust in the community. Based on that, you will start the business. And you need to see external enablers such as changes in the region, technology, economy, demographic context. So these are your entrepreneurship ecosystem in the community. You need to see what are the technology condition, what is the legal condition, what are the demographic condition in the community, and where your venture will be created. So that means you have seen a problems. Based on the problem in your community, you will develop your business. Entrepreneurial venture business model is effectually developed and on how the community is and what they know. That means at this stage, what you develop, you have the business idea, you use the social capital, and you develop the business model. So as I said, one thing, entrepreneurship can be commercial entrepreneurship can be social entrepreneurship. So if it is a commercial entrepreneurship, it's a business model will be one type. The entrepreneurship is social entrepreneurship, business model will be different. So because commercial entrepreneurship, it is for profit, and social entrepreneurship, it is not for profit, but the profit you will earn is just only to maintain the cost. So opportunity confidence results from the evaluation of ideas in the region's community capital. Let's say to community capital. So you need to see what are the community capitals are. Based on community capital, you will build the business. So for example, you are living a community. I'm giving an example. you're living in a community, but there are some social problems out there. For example, communication problem. So to solve the communication problem, you can develop network with the people and you discuss how to solve the problems. So when I mean that social business, it is the model is one type. As I said, when it is a traditional, I mean commercial business, the model is different type. In social business, the most of the time model is bottom up, and in the bottom up model, and in the for profit is a top down model, means somebody thought it and they execute it. But on the other hand, if it is a social enterprise, the business idea will come from the community people. So you have to see the problem, you talk to the people. When you see communication problem in the society, you talk to the people in the society how to solve the problems, get the idea from them, then you solve it. So they will give you how to solve the problem. They will tell you. But in other case, when it is a commercial, you just think the idea and you talk to this is the idea I would like to, the way I would like to solve it. Do you like it or not? So the people will say whether they like it or not in case of commercial entrepreneurship. In case of social entrepreneurship, people will give you the solution, how to solve the problems. So this is the key difference between social entrepreneurship and commercial entrepreneurship. Okay. As I said is that community entrepreneurship, it is the bottom-up approach. So I think all of you heard about this. BRAC, it is a largest social enterprise globally. All of you might heard about the Grameen Bank, Grameen Foundation, Professor Yunus. Islamic Relief, you heard about this. And it is an Indian, Gunj, Indian, I mean, social organization. So explain you how this started. Then you'll understand how a simple effort can change the life of the people. Look at the BRAC. In 1972, the person who established BRAC, his name is Fazli Hassan Abed. So BRAC now is a $1 trillion business. In 1972, they started the journey. At present, they have the bank. They have the world largest, it is the world largest NGO, BRAC. They have the largest mobile banking business globally. They have operations in more than 26 countries. BRAC. They have the bank, they have the social business, they have a non-profit business, charity organizations. At the same time, they have a mobile business, a mobile banking business. So what happened? Fazli Hassan Abed in 1972, he completed his study in the UK and returned to Bangladesh when that was a war-torn country. Bangladesh had war in 1971, and the country was war-torn. And so he found the refugees are returning from India. In his local area, the village he came from, a lot of refugees came to the village, those who from that village, but everything destroyed. So he started thinking how to solve the problems, building the home for them, managing food for them. That is the start of the brand. So thinking how to solve the problems, he go to the donors and he also managed some fund locally. They started the operations. So doing something, he has thought to do something for the community. That is the start. Then it grew up. Now it is a global largest NGO. So it started in 1972, doing something in a village, now become a global largest NGO. And having big bank, I think the third largest bank in Bangladesh, and they have operation in Afghanistan and other countries as well. And they have the largest mobile banking business. So what the BRAC is doing now at the moment, their business model is they transfer the asset from the middle class to the lower class. They help poor people to produce the product, and they sell it at the high markup to the rich people or middle class people. And then they distribute the profit for the charity work. So they have the business activity, at the same time they have charity activity. By business activity they earn, and through charity activity they transfer the as resource to the poor people. Gunj. Gunj actually is another Indian organization. The story is very fascinating story. So Gunj established in 1998. The person who established the Gunj, he was a journalist. So he's visited several cities. One day, he visiting to Delhi, the capital of India. He's visiting Delhi and he sit in the rickshaw. So he found that in the rickshaw, there is slogan written down. And the English of the slogan is, if you see any dead body, unaccompanied dead body, if you see any dead body and on the street, let me know. I'll arrange the funeral. That slogan he have seen it. So he asked the person, the rickshaw puller, why you wrote it here. He said that in Delhi, there are a lot of, unaccompanied dead body. Unaccompanied dead body in the street every night found. And this is why I write it down. So if I complete this work, I get about little money from the community for completing this task. I got some donation from the people for this task. So then he talked to that person and he said that why people are dying. He said that people actually in the summertime, I'm not getting that many dead bodies, but in the winter time, every night I get 8 to 10 dead bodies. So this actually is a problem. So he thought actually, then he asked him actually why it is happening, why more dead bodies in the winter. Then the rickshaw puller told him that in the winter time, more people die because they don't have any clothes. They don't have any clothes, that's why they are dying. So that actually promoted from the journalist. He thought that, okay, I should do something. So he started, collecting used clothes from rich people or middle class people and donating to them, to the poor people in Delhi area. So in their first effort, they collected about 5,000 kilogram used, clothes and distributed. So it started in 1998. Now they have different kind of business. I'm not explaining their business just because of shortage of time. So I'm saying you what when you hear something, try to think and do some initiative, take some initiative to solve the problems. That is the key issue of the social community entrepreneurship. Grameen Bank, everyone know the Grameen Foundation. Uh, um, Another thing, Gunj actually awarded the Magsaysay award. Magsaysay is considered the Asian Nobel. So Grameen Foundation, everyone knows about the Professor Yunus and Grameen Foundation because Grameen Bank awarded Nobel in 2006. So what is their main thing? How it is started? It is started people actually, Professor Yunus found that people are exploited by the money lenders, and those who are poor, they remain poor always. So to bring them out from the poverty trap, he started a project called Grameen. So Grameen means village. So he started the project in the university he was working. That is actually to bring out poor women from the poverty trap. That is the main objective of the Grameen Foundation. Islamic Relief, that is one of the largest NGO globally. So Islamic Relief started its operation in 1984 by a medical student. Hani al-Banna is Egyptian. He was studying in the UK in 1984. At that time, in Africa, there is a famine going on in Africa, war and famine. So Hani al-Banna thinking I should do something because he saw the news and he was devastated. What I can do? So he talked to other medical students and his friends. They said that we'll collect some donations from these people and then we'll distribute it in Africa. So they primarily, with this town, said they go to the all mosque in Birmingham, London, different series, and within weeks they collected £135,000, a lot of money, £135,000 in 1984. So you can understand what the value of £135,000 at that time. Just let me give you an example. A house price at that time was maybe £10,000 at that time, which is equivalent to now, for example, £300,000. So you have 30 times value increases. So £135,000 at that time means now more than £1 million, 3 million, more than £3 million at current time. So they collected it in the 2 to 3 weeks time, and they took 3 projects in Sudan and in Mauritania. So that is the started journey of the Islamic relief. Now it is working in more than 70 countries globally. So within less than 40 years, it is working globally and starting from zero. So if Hani al-Banna saw the news and he didn't act, he didn't think, Islamic relief would not come. All this, Brak, Gunj, Grameen, Islam all have the same story. They see something, they try to they understand there is something to do, and they try to do something, take some effort, and that brings these nice and fine organizations. So main challenge to the community entrepreneurs. The competency of community entrepreneurs, the main problem. One of the key problem, you might think that how to organize, how to manage leadership. This is one of the key problems for the community entrepreneurs. So one thing you need to know, to be an entrepreneur, not necessarily you should have all resources, finance, everything. But what you must have one thing, network. If you have a strong network, you can manage all these resources. So you might have one of the key challenges, the competencies. Second challenge, relation with the community and other actors. You must have good relationship, all actors in the community, otherwise you can't go. So for example, if you'd like to start a community business, you must have relationship with the community people. You must build relationship with the influencing people in the community, for example, community leaders, government agencies, religious people, culturally dominating people. So you should have a relationship with all these people. And if you can't maintain the relationship, you can't develop a community organization. The quality of contextual resources. So the resource actually for a community organization, main piece is the social capital. And if social capital means trust, if trust is poor, business will not work. So you have a strong relationship with the community people. And also territorial resources. Every area, there are 7 to 8 kind of resource. For example, it is due to your agricultural context, one kind of resource, natural resource, then your, built resource, financial resource, all these resources. So these are quality of the resource the community may different. And that is another challenge, how you will manage it. So to manage all these challenges, as I said to you, that one common thing, that is network. If you can develop network with the people, you can solve these problems. Entrepreneurs do and build the network to minimize their limitations. It is the key to overcome the problems. So what do you need to develop a business? First one is the idea. You might have lots of ideas might come in your mind, but you need to see which one is opportunity. So we already told you that what can be an opportunity. So you need to see the idea, then you need to see whether it is an opportunity or not. Then you need to develop network and you need to form a team to solve the problem. After that, you need to develop a business model. So each one requires actually a long explanation to clarify, but I can't explain it within a short time. I'm trying to give you very brief ideas. Business model. So you need to develop business model. What does it mean? Business model means how will you deliver the value to the people? So the idea you have, people need to give importance to it. People need to understand it is important to us. It can solve our problem. And the way you deliver the value, that is important. So you need to develop a business model. For example, Amazon, online business, Alibaba, that is a business model. People didn't think this business model 20 years or 25 years back, but it is, we understand that now. For example, you can develop a business model through a mobile app. A mobile app can be a business model. For example, Uber is a business model. Or this replaces a lot of traditional problems. Then completing legal requirements if formal startup. You don't need always formal requirement. You can social organization, you can start it after business model, you can start the operations. But if you'd like to give a formal shape, then you can do the legal requirements and starting the operations. So very simple but very daunting task. You need to identify what are the required tasks at each stage. But first one, opportunity, and then network and team formation. These are the issues. One of the key things to be successful entrepreneur at any stage, you need to face negative thoughts. There are a lot of negative comments will come to you. You need to actually overlook them. Whatever negative things come to you, you will overlook them and you will go your own way. You decide by your own instinct. So people might criticize you. You don't need to be on the criticize trap. You need to overlook what people think. Rather, you see the future success within the next 1 or 2 years, where you'd like to go. You need to think of that. So these are the key actual issues. In a very nutshell, I discussed about the community. I mean, how to start a community organizations. And now, if you have any question, you can ask me. And if you have any comment, you can tell me. I end up my presentation here. You can unmute your okay. You can unmute your mic and then you can share it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Shamsul Karim. Presentation and really was thought-provoking. Really, to start something new is not easy, and especially to resist the adverse remark from people. The pressure is very great, and really, the people who have this kind of steadfastness can face the challenge. Really, I hope everyone would agree with that. So, without any brothers would like to give any comment? Brother Kamal Ko from Malaysia, since you have been involved in different business, have different innovations over your life, can you share your experience and your comment?
Assalamualaikum, dear
Waalaikumsalam.
brother Shamsul Karim, dear brother Yusuf. I do not have
Waalaikumsalam.
any comment right now. Is what has been shared with us. It's very interesting. I learned a great deal. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. How about Sister Khadija? You have any comment?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
wabarakatuh. At the moment, I do not have any comment. I am digesting the very wonderful lecture that he has given.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you very
Alhamdulillah.
much.
Any comment or questions from our brothers and sisters? How about Brother Nadim? You have any word to add or any question?
So, I mean, if you don't have any question, there's no issue. That's fine. That's no problem. But what I would like to say you, that thing I summarize in a very short form. I mean, there are this topic I discussed. One is you need to see the problem, then you need to see when you see the problem, you look at the opportunity. And I discussed another thing is two dimensions: traditional entrepreneurship, lean startup. You can think about the traditional one, may develop a business plan and do the business, or you can think about the trial and error, because if you do the trial and error, there are less loss provision. So in that case, that is called lean startup. You can follow this. These are the actually big process. We can discuss hours and hours. We can discuss to, I mean, so how to train you how to start a lean business or how to traditional business. These are the big steps, but I'm just introducing the ideas or concepts. Third thing is a commercial business or social business. You can do it as your business model could be commercial business model or social business model. If it is a commercial business model, approach is top down. If it is a social business, approach is bottom up. Means you will start from the grassroots, asking people what is their problem, what is the solution of the problem. You will not give the solution. Ask people what is the solution of the problem. So to me, if you like as a Muslim community leader, what if you would like to really do and to be an entrepreneur? I prefer you to be a social entrepreneur. You see, it is less costly and you'll get the training there. Come to be a commercial entrepreneur. I've seen that those are the successful social entrepreneur. They're the successful commercial entrepreneur as well. So if you'd like to do something for the community, establish a social or community organization where you don't need to spend money too much, engaging community people, organizing community people, solving community problems, and then starting the community business. That training you will get there, then you can use your own commercial organizations. I know one brother in in Birmingham, for about 10 years back. They started they had nothing. They started a mosque project locally or in an area where there is no mosque. So with the zero, they manage money from the people. Just only one thing they have, they know people. They established a mosque in the area. What happened there? After starting that, he has network and familiarity with the people in the society. So he started his own venture, commercial venture, retail business, and it became highly profitable. So what is I say that if you do the community business, the social value, social capital you will gain, that will help you to develop your commercial business as well. So with this, I mean, couple of key issues. I finished my deliberation here today. Thanks for your participation. And as I said to you, if you would like to, I would be happy if you have any question or my email is in my presentation slide on the top. And those are organizers, I think they will issue a certificate.
We'll share it with them.
So for the certificate, what you can do, I mean, you can develop your own business idea, community business idea. That will be sufficient for you for this presentation. Thank you
so
all.
much. Thank you so much. Brother Nazim, you want to say anything?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Yes.
Yes, before getting the knowledge, I actually wanted to be an entrepreneurship, and I had actually some business, and I failed. It's last year. So now again, I'm thinking I lost a lot of money. So I'm demotivated at the moment. So what will actually push me getting through again and do something better way?
Is it Brother Mosharraf?
Yep, from New Zealand.
Okay. New Zealand. One thing, I mean, one of the key issues when why people fail in the business. I think I understand you have done is study something in a traditional way.
Yep.
I say that there are two business, one traditional and one lean startup. So one thing for sure, I mean, the product, the business you started, my understanding is there's a problem in the business plan. Just generally, when a business fail, most of the time, most of the common problem is the lack of business plan. That means it was not very clear to you who are your customers, whether the product they will buy it or not, the value you are creating, whether the value is important to them or not. It may be important to you. Context of the customers may not be clear to you, and the value you are offering, whether the value is important to them or not. Whether the price they are ready to pay for you, the value you are creating, whether it is matching or not. So these are the key problems you had at that time. So if you can, the knowledge, the experience you gain from this failure, if you can adapt this and do some research on this, I'm sure you can overcome it. And if you restart it this time with the knowledge you have, you can avoid further failure. Generally, those are successful entrepreneurs. Most of the time, most of the successful entrepreneurs have failure at least 3 times. The problem is whether we advise lean entrepreneurship to the people, those don't have clear understanding about the customer. We advise them lean entrepreneurship because it reduces the failure rate. And because if there is a failure and there is a high stake of loss of resources. So to avoid that one, lean entrepreneurship is preferable. But in your case, since you already gained some knowledge through the failure, you know where the mistake. If you investigate it, identify your mistakes. As I said to you, most common problem is the lack of business plan. So, or a poor business plan, and that maybe, you have the idea, and without any proper research, if you start the business, the high probability you will fail it. So this is might be the reason in your case, and I hope you can overcome it in the second stage, the one you are starting now.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Brother Tahir Nadim, you'd like to say something? I can't hear you.
Brother Nazim, please speak up.
It's unmute, but the problem is mic is not working maybe.
Brother Nadim, are you speaking? Oh, you unmute your mic. Okay. It's okay. So if there is no further question, so we'd like to thank Dr. Shamsul Karim for his really really value-added experience, and we hope that every one of us will learn something from him today, and hope that we have some of us may start our own venture and follow his guidance. So thank you so much again for joining the webinar today. I will invite all of you to join us next month. So let us make the dua to close the meeting.
If just 1 minute before,
yes,
if any brother needs any help in starting a process, you can send me an email. I am happy to support you, so that you will not get to the loss process. You can overcome the loss. Thank you very much. You can finish it.
Thank you so much. You are very generous, Professor Karim. Okay. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Thank you so much for attending. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
See you again soon. Thank you.